on your national construction estimator, and I'm just showing the garage here. When you did that, you have man hours here. It has craft at man hours. So, when you were doing this, we were putting this in and saying, let me go here and change. We were going in and we're saying we had 96 linear feet of grade beams and footings, and it gave us a craft code and then all of our prices and stuff. All right, so once that's entered in there, it tells you how many man hours, and I wish I could just highlight just that 13.44. That is basically how long that they estimate it to take to dig these grade beams and so, or to, yeah, 13.44 hours. Okay, 13.44. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can go down here and use this kind of to go by to get you started, but at the same time, you're going to have to use a little bit of common sense. Yeah, I know, right? You're going to have to kind of think as to, is it really, are you really able to do this? So let's go over to the spreadsheet. And the first thing that we want to do up here in this top column, what I like to do is I'm just going to put job in the first column, B or A, and then in B, I'm going to start the date. So, and today's date, and you can, whenever you want to start the job, okay? So actually, let me go back here and look at something. Let me pull up the calendar. Yep. What's that? Well, looking at the calendar, I could say I'm going to begin this project on the 16th. I could, go down here and say I'm going to start on the 30th. Whenever realistically you would, you would look at your schedule, your work schedule, when can you start, and you try to do a start date. So I'm going to try going for the 16th. So I'm going to put in here 4-10-18. And it comes up there and it'll change it over to it automatically. What I want you to do when you go to C is I want you to say equals $410. He would say 420, wouldn't he? So I'm guessing nobody's going to be here next Friday? It's 420. Okay, so you put in equals, and then you click on the date you just had. All right, so you're going to click on that B1, and then you're going to say plus 1. Enter. See what happens? It changes the date for you. Okay, now you didn't put it in right. Okay, something else I like to do is if I put the date in there in this fashion, then my spreadsheet's going to be extremely long. So I'm going to click on the first row, and I'm going to go to the format section here. Format, no, the next, you got insert, delete, format, and format sales, down at the very bottom, format sales. And it should open up this little thing here. Yeah, you can right click and get, yep. Yeah, you right click, you can right click and go to alignment. Click on alignment. And over here where, you got this little text orientation here, Grab that bugger and rotate it up like that right there. Or you can go down here and just type in 90 degrees. Either one. You with him? Okay. So once you do that, you hit OK and you see what happens here. Okay. So, well, I'll show you here in just a second. So what I'm going to do is, you still can't get in? Just pay attention, follow along. Okay. Yeah, I'm recording it. All right, so you can go to C, and you see that there's a little dark button down here. Grab that. When you hover over it, it changes to a black positive sign. Grab that booger and drag it. Just drag it and drag it and drag it and drag it and drag it. You can come back and delete that stuff later. Bam. Got it? You got a mouse.
You got a finger.
Then do nothing.
How far you go? How far you go?
Oh, I don't care. I mean, you can go. You can always go back later and delete it. It shouldn't be. Did you say equals that cell plus 1?
Just turn the estimate in, JJ.
A duck. Okay, so what I like to do then is I like to highlight that entire column again. Row, sorry. Right click, go to down here at the bottom, pull down your little thing here, your little slider, or hit Control. I'm going to show you this. I'm way down here. I'm going to hit Control Home. If I hit Control Home, it goes back up to that first one there. So then I'm going to highlight on this, and I can't right click because it won't give me to the right one. Okay, so if I go back up to Format and I pull down and I go Auto Fit Column Width. See what happens? Now we have dates on here that are much prettier, right? So one of the other things that I like to do when I'm setting this up is I like to tell myself when the Saturday and Sunday is, okay? So I started on the 10th. Did I start on it? I did start on the 10th. I started on the 10th. So on the 14th and the 15th, I'm going to go over here to 14 and 15, and I'm going to highlight the whole thing there, and I'm going to make it a different color. Yep. No, if you click on F and G, or click on F and pull over to G, and then you can make it a color. I usually make it a color that will not hinder something if I decide to type in it. In other words, I don't want to make it black because if I try to type in it, I can't see it, right? So I usually just, you can make it a color if you want. If you want to get fancy, I just go with something simple like that. And then what you want to do is go back through there and hit each weekend and do the same thing. Do what? And, you can.
It's up at the top right there.
That's right, it is. You can go down, you can do what you need to do at the time. You don't have to do the whole spreadsheet. Now, here's the thing. Once you set this up, you can go ahead and set this on up. But, so like, for instance, I started on the 10th. what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this row right there, and I'm going to, well, I started mine on the 10th, but I'm just saying, I'm going to go and I'm going to add one more in it, and I'm going to say 4/9, 2018, and I'm going to show you why I'm going to do this way. So, because this is a Monday. If I start my spreadsheets off on a Monday, I can save this. All right, I get everything set up, and I save it. Will you please, Matthew? Okay, so I clicked on that, and I right-clicked and go to Insert.
This is the one thing that I was taught how to do better. Did not. I had to learn to use this. You can kill Excel. As soon as I learned how to put in formulas.
Yeah, heck yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We had a Microsoft Word.
So something else that you could do is you could go ahead and do the jobs. I'm going to turn this one back around. Just right-click and insert. Oh, okay. No. Go back and click. Look at me. Look up here. Click on the letter, not the cell. Click on the letter so you get the whole thing. Then right-click and insert. Just insert. I just started it out as a Monday. That's the reason that I added it in, because I started on a Tuesday, because yesterday was Monday. If I start all my spreadsheets as a Monday, then I can go in here and let's say that I'm not going to start the job until July 16th. Then I can go in here to this one cell and I can say 6/16/2018, bam, everything changes and the weekends stay the same. Yeah, and we will make that bigger as we go down through here. So what we can do is I'm going to type in here. Sure. Yes, that's exactly right. Okay, so you can start laying out your different jobs. You got layout, you got dig footing, you have pour footing. If I don't care what you put on there. All right, but you figure out what yours are. Now, once this is all done, you can grab it. See this little corner piece up here? If I click on that, everything highlights, and then I can go to the auto fit column width, and it will pull that out there for me automatically. You're only highlighting one column? Or did you highlight more than one column? If I highlight a whole bunch of columns and I go to insert, it's going to insert all those columns. Now, so layout. How long is it going to take for me to do layout? God, I hope it only takes me a day, right? Well, you're going to go by days because you can't do a half a day on this. You could probably, but we're not going to. No, well, I use just color codes. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start this particular job, and I start with the first color I come to, bam, and that's red. All right, so layout and dig footings are both going to be on the same day. Once I finish layout, I'm going to start digging the footings, right? So I can go over here and I'm saying, well, how long is it going to take me to dig footings? Well, I don't know. I'm going to go back over to my thing and look at it. But for right now, I'm just going to say it's going to take me 2 days to dig those footings. All right. So I can go in here and I go to the next color. And then how long is it going to take me to pour footings? Well, guess what? I can't pour footings there. Why? Nope. I need to insert a column and write inspection. I can do that in a day. I can get that done in one day. So the inspection is going to be done after I dig my footings, and I'm generally going to try to do that first thing in the morning. But I can start pouring my footings that very same day, and I'm going to leave it at the same color because I'm going to do all of that in one day. So what am I going to do next is I'm going to start CMU wall. And how long is it going to take me to do that? Let's go back over here just a minute. Concrete block assembly, 134.4 hours. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 5 days. Now that's man hours. So how many men have I got working on the job? Let's say I got 4. So I got 134, I'm going to call it 135 days divided by 4. That's 33 divided by 8. So it's going to take me 4 days to build these walls. That don't sound right. 134 man hours. 130. 5.
Maybe like 3 and 4 days.
Say it again now. Yes. Oh yeah, that's what I need to do. Right. Thank you. 134 divided by 40. Right. So 3 days. 3 and a third days. So I'm going to go back over to this chart here, and I'm going to highlight 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to leave it at that. We'll work late on Friday. A lot of times I don't use yellow because when you print it out, yellow it doesn't show up very well.
I also noticed that what's really easy on this is if rather than using different colors, I would just use like blue green and you just offset it.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
And that way it's just so that you can distinguish between which line,
True. True. Yep.
2 numbers or 2 colors are really contrasted.
Okay, so to add the inspection, I clicked on the 5 and I right clicked and insert. Now, do you know how to undo? You got this little arrow up here, or you hit Control Z. Control Z is undo. Control Shift Z is redo. Actually, let me write these up here so you can.
The keyboards have them on there.
Yeah, some of them have the keys have them. Control Z, X, C, D, I,
P.
Where's control S?
P is print.
P is print, so C. X is cut. C is copy. X, Y.
So V.
Y is Z, right?
V and
V is paste. B is bold. I is italic. And print. That's probably some others. That's the main one. Yep. That was, one of the things that I learned in CAD school was one hand on, you learn to operate the computer, the keyboard with your left hand, and you keep your right hand on the mouse. So you learn all these, and instead of going back and forth, right click. Okay. So now, so you're going to do your job, and you'll go by this to get it all down through there. And so I did some of these just very simply. layout, dig foot and inspection, pour footing, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot more going on here because we've got to put in rebars. I didn't count that. Of course, it says 0, 0 there for the rebars. The grade stakes is 0. Footings for columns. Oh, that's 1.8. I was like, dang, 1,800 hours? 1.8 hours. So you can go through here and kind of use this to your advantage to do this. What chart did you call it? Gantt chart. To do this Gantt chart. Now, remember your inspections. When do you have to have inspections? You do however you want. Like I said, this is the way that I do it. Okay. He does it 2 colors. He does it 1 color. It's how, you know what? When I print it off, it's printed in black and white. I don't print it off in color.
It's all in shades of gray.
It's different in shades of gray. That's right. And I will send you a copy of an email that I get from my employer, from my architectural employer, that as he lists off a house. All right. In other words, this is kind of the contract. All right. The letter of intent is a contract that you'll have, you'll sign, they'll sign, everybody will sign. But on there is kind of like the simple specs. Okay. Yeah, we could sit down and we could write some damn specs, but we're not going to. All right. In home ownership and home builder, we do something simple. Okay. For instance, let me just pull one up and I'll read it to you right quick. Okay, guys, so this is some of the information that might be on this letter of intent. So, you're going to say that I'm going to build this house, all right? In so many words, you're going to say it more like a lawyer. But you're going to be real specific about stuff so that if it ever comes back up, you have this in writing. Permits. Acquire all necessary permits from McDowell County relevant to the commencement of the construction of this project. Foundation. Building footprint excavation and footing excavation. Footings will be 3,000 pound, and that's PSI, concrete poured in place with 2 number 4 rebars. Foundation walls to be 8-inch or 12-inch CMU reinforced as required by the North Carolina Building Code, and we say that a lot. Okay, per code is in there all over the place. And poured solid with concrete in walls with 4 foot or greater of unbalanced fill. The rear daylighted wall will be framed with 2x6 studs at 16 inches on center. Also waterproof of exterior surfaces to grade, and foundation drains will be connected as required. A licensed pest control company will complete the termite pre-treatment. The basement concrete slab will be 3,000 PSI with fiber mesh reinforcement added. Owners agree and understands that certain amount of cracks can develop in any concrete slab and or CMU wall during the drying and curing process, and that these are normal and acceptable characteristics of concrete materials and are not due to any lack of workmanship on the part of the contractor. Oh yeah. If you want me to build that for you, you're going to have to accept it. Otherwise, you're going to find somebody else. But it happens. It happens. I've done masonry all my life, and I built my house, and son of a gun, I got a crack in it. Of course, it's been there for 10 years, but what had happened was I poured a concrete footing over top of an existing well. The well didn't sink. The well was acting as a pile in the ground. Everything else settled around it. You have a question?
Is this something that you write or something that you just?
The contractor writes this, and I write it out in a letter of intent as it goes.
Do you write this yourself, or you have your lawyer help you draw this up?
I'm sure he has had his lawyer do it. Yeah, and I will send this all to you where you can. I will copy and send this to you. But don't use it verbatim. Go and change some things and make it your own little thing. Google other letters of intention. See how it's done, and play with it. Now, this is something I want you to do me one for the garage. Okay? All right. So I want it to be simple. You're going to do a timeline for the house, but you're going to do a letter of intent for the garage. Okay?